What are the clear pathways to achieving decolonization? Imagine a world where Indigenous peoples have full control over their lands, cultures, and futures. That's what decolonization aims for. It's about undoing the lasting effects of colonialism in many parts of life. To get there, we need to look at different areas that shape society. First, restoring political and legal sovereignty is key. This means returning land to Indigenous communities and recognizing their authority over governance. It's not just symbolic, it's about real control over laws and land rights. Next, we must focus on cultural and knowledge systems. Decolonization challenges Western ways of knowing by making space for Indigenous languages, histories, and worldviews. Schools and research should include Indigenous perspectives as central, not just add-ons. Economic independence is another important step. Colonialism created economic systems that kept resources in the hands of colonizers. Decolonization involves land restitution, fair resource sharing, and supporting Indigenous-led businesses. Dismantling power structures is also vital. This means examining and changing institutions like governments, law enforcement, and education that uphold colonial privileges. Indigenous voices must lead these efforts. Healing from colonization's psychological harm is equally necessary. Restoring cultural practices, languages, and identities helps communities recover from trauma. Active allyship from non-Indigenous people is essential too. They can support decolonization by listening to Indigenous leaders, supporting policy changes, and redirecting resources. Institutional reform is another pathway. Universities, museums, and government agencies need to revise practices that reinforce colonial ideas. This includes returning cultural artifacts and creating spaces for Indigenous governance. Finally, legal and policy changes are fundamental. Governments should honor treaties, protect Indigenous lands, and ensure fair political participation. These pathways are interconnected. For example, educational reforms support cultural revival, which boosts political sovereignty. Economic empowerment allows communities to sustain their cultural and political goals. For decolonization to succeed, it needs ongoing effort and leadership from Indigenous peoples. From a liberal perspective, it aligns with justice, equality, and human rights. It's about making systemic changes through laws, policies, and inclusive dialogue. The goal is to build a society that respects diversity and promotes fairness for all.